Rain poured over the neon-lit streets of Nova Arcadia, bouncing off metal panels and creating a kaleidoscope of colors on the wet pavement. Alex worked tirelessly in his small workshop, the soft hum of machinery and the faint hiss of soldering tools filling the air. Outside, the distant thrum of spacecraft engines and the occasional chatter of night shift workers provided a constant reminder that life on the colony never truly slept. Earlier that day, he had lent his high-tech jacket to Leora, a visitor unlike any he had ever seen. She was an alien, but not the kind the colony had seen before. Her silver-blue skin shimmered faintly under the colony's lights, and her eyes glowed softly, reflecting a depth of intelligence and curiosity that made humans feel small. She had come seeking help with an energy manipulator she had been testing, and during her experiments she had accidentally damaged Alex's jacket. Alex had shrugged it off at the time. It was just a jacket. But now, as the rain drummed harder on the roof, he heard a knock at his workshop door. Wiping his hands on a rag, he cautiously approached. When he opened the door, he saw her standing there, the jacket clutched tightly in her hands. The rain soaked her lightly, but she didn't seem to mind. What caught Alex's attention, though, was her presence. Leora radiated confidence, moving with a grace that made it clear she was both aware and unbothered by human norms. Even under the jacket, her posture was calm and unflinching. It was strange, almost otherworldly. "Alex," she said, her voice melodic and slightly reverberating as if her vocal cords produced subtle harmonic overtones. "I came to return this. I am grateful for your help." Alex blinked, taken aback. You came all the way back. Just for that?" He hesitated, trying not to let his surprise show. Leora had already left an impression on him. But there was something more tonight, something in her eyes that demanded attention beyond the jacket she held. "I also need to warn you," Leora said. "There is danger approaching the colony. I could not deal with it alone." "You must see it for yourself," Alex frowned. He was an engineer, not a soldier. Not someone who faced intergalactic threats. "Danger? What kind of danger?" Leora glanced at the street, her gaze sharp. "A rogue faction of aliens seeks your technology. Your inventions are significant. They will not stop until they have them." The words made Alex's stomach tighten. He had worked on new hovercraft designs, energy shields, and personal defense tech, innovations meant to help humanity, not provoke conflict. And yet here was a visitor from another world warning him that these same creations had attracted attention he could not ignore. "I don't understand," Alex admitted, his mind racing. "Why me? Why my workshop?" Leora's eyes softened. "You are human, yes, but your ingenuity is remarkable. You solve problems in ways even my people cannot anticipate. That is why they target you." The rain intensified, and Alex instinctively looked at his workshop door. The street seemed emptier than usual, the usual late-night traffic absent. Something about the quiet made his heart race. "Then what do we do?" he asked finally. "We move," Leora said simply, slipping the jacket back to him with a casual motion that revealed her delicate alien hands. "But first we must get to the central hub. There you will understand the scale of the threat." Alex nodded. He grabbed his tool bag and locked the workshop behind them. As they stepped into the rain, the city lights reflected off Leora's shimmering skin, making her appear almost ethereal. She moved with fluid grace, her strides long and measured, and Alex found himself struggling to keep up. Despite the cold and wet, she showed no discomfort, her presence commanding and steady. "You're fast," Alex said, trying to mask his awe. Leora glanced at him, a faint smile playing on her lips. "You will need to be faster. This night will test more than your speed." They reached the central hub after weaving through alleys, ducking under neon signs that flickered in the storm. The building was a tall, reinforced structure, humming with energy as drones patrolled the perimeter. Leora extended her hand, and Alex noticed the faint glow of alien symbols forming in the air, scanning the area and temporarily disabling security sensors. "This way," she whispered, leading him inside. The interior of the hub was vast, filled with rows of consoles, holographic displays, and active tech stations. Engineers worked diligently, oblivious to the danger Leora had mentioned, while Alex felt a surge of pride and fear. This was humanity's heart of technology, and now it was under threat. Suddenly, alarms blared. Red lights flashed across the room. Leora's expression grew serious. "They have found us sooner than expected." Alex's heart pounded. He had expected a warning, maybe a delay. But this immediate confrontation was terrifying. Without thinking, he ran toward a console, trying to access the building's defense protocols. Leora's eyes glowed faintly as she activated energy fields that shimmered around the hub, shielding them from incoming surveillance drones. "They are scouting," she explained, "but they will escalate quickly. You must prepare." Alex nodded, his fingers flying across the console. He activated turrets and security barriers, improvising with systems he had barely understood moments before. Leora moved beside him, her alien abilities allowing her to sense disruptions in the energy flow, pinpointing where the intruders would strike next. Together, their coordination was seamless, human intuition complemented by alien perception. As the first wave of drones entered, Alex held his breath. Leora's movements were precise, almost like a dance, as she deflected attacks and disabled devices with minimal effort. Alex marveled at her skill, understanding that her confidence under the jacket wasn't arrogance, it was mastery. The battle escalated, the sounds of clashing energy and alarms filling the hub. Alex worked tirelessly, using his inventions to create shields and countermeasures. Each time a drone approached, Leora anticipated its movement, diverting it with calculated motions that left Alex stunned. Finally, after a tense half-hour, the drones retreated. The hub was battered but intact. Alex exhaled, wiping sweat from his forehead. Leora placed a hand on his shoulder, her touch light but grounding. "You have potential," she said. "Even under pressure, you adapt. That is why your creations matter. That is why I returned for you." Alex looked at her, admiration and curiosity mingling. "I thought you just wanted the jacket back." Leora's lips curved in a small, enigmatic smile. The jacket was an excuse. Sometimes humans need a reason to trust themselves. Alex laughed quietly, the tension easing slightly. The rain had stopped outside and neon lights reflected off puddles on the ground. He realized how close they had come to losing everything. And yet with Leora he felt a spark of hope. "This is just the beginning, isn't it?" he asked, glancing around at the hub and the city beyond. "Yes," Leora replied, her eyes glowing softly. "And together, we will ensure that humanity's ingenuity is not lost to those who would misuse it." As they stood side by side, watching the city lights shimmer in the aftermath of the storm, Alex knew his life had changed forever. The jacket, now back in his hands, symbolized more than protection. It was a bridge between two worlds, a beginning of something larger than either of them could have imagined. The night was far from over. Danger still lingered in the shadows, waiting for the moment to strike again. But Alex and Leora had formed a bond, one built on trust, courage, and the undeniable power of human creativity, combined with alien skill. Whatever came next, they would face it together, and for the first time in his life, Alex felt truly ready. The city lights of Nova Arcadia glimmered softly as the storm cleared, leaving puddles that reflected neon colors like liquid mirrors. Alex and Leora moved through the streets, alert to every sound and shadow. Though the immediate attack had been repelled, Leora insisted that danger still lurked. The rogue faction was clever and ruthless, and their target, the colony's technological heart, was too valuable to abandon. Alex felt a mixture of fear and exhilaration. He had never faced anything like this. Yet beside him, Leora moved with a calm certainty that made him feel capable. She glanced back at him as they reached a narrow alleyway. "The next stage will test more than your speed and skill," she said. "You will need to trust yourself as much as your inventions." Alex nodded, gripping his tool bag tightly. The alley led to an old transit hub, abandoned decades ago but still connected to the colony's main systems. Leora gestured for him to follow, and together they slipped through a hidden access point. Inside, the air was cool and smelled faintly of ozone and metal. Holographic dust motes floated in the dim light, and Alex felt a thrill of discovery. This place was a forgotten relic, yet it held secrets that could turn the tide of the impending battle. "This is where we can set a trap," Leora explained. She extended her hand and a faint glow spread from her fingers, scanning the area. Patterns of energy revealed hidden conduits and structural weaknesses. "We can use these channels to our advantage." "They will not expect this." Alex crouched, examining the walls and floors. He realized he could integrate his tech with Leora's energy manipulation to create defensive fields, barriers, and diversions. His mind raced with possibilities. Every invention he had designed over the past year could be adapted for this confrontation. The rogue faction would not be prepared for a combined human-alien strategy. They worked silently, the only sounds the occasional hum of energy and the soft drip of water from the ceilings. Leora moved gracefully, setting up energy pulses that would activate if intruders approached, while Alex rigged mechanical devices and automated turrets. By the time they were finished, the transit hub had become a sophisticated maze of defenses. "Are you ready?" Leora asked, her glowing eyes fixed on him. Alex swallowed. "As ready as I'll ever be." No sooner had he said it than the first signs of the intruders appeared. Shadows moved along the far walls, and faint energy readings indicated multiple hostile figures advancing. Leora whispered a command, and Alex activated the first set of defenses. Walls of light shimmered into existence, blocking certain pathways while creating narrow corridors to guide the intruders where Alex wanted them. The rogue aliens moved cautiously, clearly surprised by the sudden barriers. Leora's presence was commanding. She intercepted any attempt to bypass the defenses. Her movements precise and controlled. Alex felt a surge of confidence. Their coordination was flawless, his ingenuity complementing her alien abilities. As the first group reached one of the corridors, Alex triggered a diversion. A holographic projection of themselves appeared at the far end, drawing attention while hidden energy pulses disabled the intruders' scanners. Leora smiled faintly, her expression almost proud. "Good thinking," she said. "They underestimate your creativity." More intruders advanced, their energy weapons humming as they tried to find another path. Alex and Leora worked in perfect synchrony. Each trap they set forced the enemies into predictable patterns, making it easier to neutralize them without direct confrontation. Alex marveled at Leora's ability to sense movements before they happened, as if she could predict their intentions. One intruder managed to slip past the first defenses, heading straight for Alex. He barely had time to react before Leora intercepted, using a controlled energy pulse to gently push the alien off balance. Alex realized that her strength was not in brute force but in precision and control. Together they made a nearly unstoppable team. The battle continued for what felt like hours, though in reality it was only a tense half-hour. Finally, the last intruder fell into a trap Alex had designed, a containment field reinforced with alien energy. The rogue faction's attempt to steal the colony's technology had been thwarted. Both Alex and Leora stood in the quiet aftermath, breathing heavily but triumphant. Alex glanced around, taking in the hub. Machines hummed, energy fields pulsed gently, and the intruder's equipment was disabled or captured. He turned to Leora. "We did it," he said, awe in his voice. "I didn't think we could." Leora's eyes glowed softly. "You were capable all along. You only needed the right reason and the right ally." Alex felt a warmth in his chest. Leora had returned the jacket not just as a courtesy but as a catalyst. It was a strange, almost symbolic gesture that had brought them together to face a threat neither could handle alone. He realized that the jacket had become more than just clothing. It represented trust, collaboration, and the spark of something greater than himself. As they exited the hub, the city outside had settled into a quiet calm. Neon reflections shimmered on wet streets and the distant hum of spacecraft had resumed. Leora removed the jacket, revealing her ceremonial alien attire beneath. Its design was intricate, with patterns that glowed faintly, signifying her status and trust. Alex took a moment to study it, appreciating the artistry and symbolism. "You carry more than technology," Leora said softly. "You carry ideas, creativity, and courage. That is why this colony, and perhaps even the galaxy, needs you." Alex nodded, humbled. "And you're more than I imagined. You're incredible." Leora smiled, the glow of her eyes softening. "We make each other stronger. That is why we were brought together." For the first time, Alex understood the deeper meaning of their meeting. It was not just about a jacket, or even about defending the colony. It was about collaboration, respect, and the merging of human ingenuity with alien knowledge. The galaxy was vast, filled with dangers and wonders, but together, they had proven that cooperation could overcome almost any threat. In the following days, Alex and Leora worked side by side, repairing damage to the hub and improving defenses. The rogue faction remained at large, but their confidence had been shaken. Word spread throughout the colony of the humans and aliens who had defended the city. using intelligence, creativity, and teamwork, rather than sheer force. Humanity's ingenuity had once again shown, and the alien visitors' presence underscored the potential for interspecies collaboration. As they walked through the neon streets, Alex realized that the world felt larger and more exciting than before. Leora's visit had opened a door to possibilities he had never considered. Together they would continue to innovate, explore, and protect their home. The jacket, now neatly folded and safely stored, was a reminder of that first encounter and the beginning of a partnership that could change the course of the colony's future. Night fell again, the city quiet and shimmering under artificial lights. Alex looked at Leora and felt a deep sense of gratitude. She had challenged him, guided him, and fought beside him. In return, he had applied his knowledge, quick thinking, and courage to complement her skills. They were equals in this endeavor, each providing something the other could not. "I never thought lending a jacket would lead to all this," Alex said with a small laugh. Leora tilted her head, a faint smile on her lips. Sometimes the smallest gestures lead to the greatest events. They stood together, watching the rain begin to fall once more, the neon reflections dancing on the wet streets. Alex knew the rogue faction might return, but he was no longer afraid. With Leora beside him, he had the confidence to face whatever challenges lay ahead. In that moment, humanity's potential felt limitless, and the bond between two very different beings symbolized hope for a brighter, united future. Whatever storms came, they would face them together, blending human creativity with alien wisdom, proving that even in a vast, dangerous galaxy, collaboration and courage could prevail. And as the rain continued to fall, the jacket remained folded safely in Alex's workshop, a simple piece of clothing that had sparked an extraordinary adventure, one that had only just begun.